Alright, welcome back. So, in the previous part, we did a lot of the kinstone stuff. And this part, we're going to be getting all the missing heart pieces. So, again, there's going to be a lot of cutting around, just because of the nature of the cleanup. So try and keep up. Obviously, if you're using this as a guide, well, one, there's probably better places to get your information from, but definitely pause when needed. So, we missed one on Mount Crenal. I think it was the area heading, like, right up to the mountain. Stop moving me. I don't understand that. Like, why do the NPCs have the ability to essentially push Link out of the way? So I found that the green kinstones tend to give you chests that give you better kinstones, while ones like the red ones will give you more more important items like heart pieces or access to heart pieces and stuff. So, I think green ones will also spawn some of the gold enemies. And at this point, we've already seen all the different gold enemies, so I won't be showing off killing any more of them, just because I don't think it's really necessary to do so. I believe this is on the other side of Mount Crenal. It does appear as if we did miss a lot of these guys in here in the workshop. Mountain Minish. So yeah, I'll be showing off all of these ones. I think this is primarily the vast majority of the kinstones for this part. As for post-game stuff, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I'm going to show off some of the post-game stuff. I'm kind of at the point where I just kind of want to finish up the series. You're not really missing much if you don't do the post-game stuff. There's maybe like 2 or 3 things that unlock after. One, there's stuff in the Picori village. In the barrel, I want to say. There are flowers that you can help grow, and they give you some special ability. I don't remember what they do. Special ability, or their health, or something like that. And Beetle sells them. The other thing, the giant Goron. Will then allow you to trade in your regular shield for the mirror shield. Not sure why that needs to happen after post-game, but sure. Alright, so this house can give you access to a piece of heart. Basically, you're just thrown into a pit with a bunch of enemies, and you gotta take them all out. My personal preference was taking out the blue shells first, then the ropes, and now these guys. There are 2 rounds of this, so... one of the other things is the Tinkle statue, which I think you can technically get before, the end, before post-game. And essentially, you get that by doing all of the... kinstones. Now, that one, I'm not sure if we're going to try and get. I'll check, see how many we have left. If it's, like, within 5 or so, then maybe I'll just do it. And then maybe tack it on to, like, beginning of the next episode or something. I don't know. We'll see. Otherwise, I probably won't bother with it, just because it... Like with most things, really, the Tingle, it really doesn't matter, unless it's the Triforce hunt in, Wind Waker. So, yeah, we'll see on that one. And the only other thing that I'm aware of is the medal from getting every figurine. Now, obviously, we did get the first 130, and those are all the figurines that you can get pre-beating the boss. But there are, I want to say, 6 other figurines that unlock after beating the boss that you can get. So, yeah. We'll see. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do. If I'm going to maybe, like, do the post-game stuff, show that off before the start of the next episode, and then do the final boss stuff. Like, basically, just flip-flop it when I do it. If I do it, we'll see. I don't know. Everything's still kind of up in the air at the moment with that. My main priority was to at least get this stuff done. The main thing that I want to do in every Zelda game is get all of the heart pieces. Alright. This is actually one of the benefits of doing all of this post, is I can cut things in a way that, you know, we're not wasting so much travel time. Because, like, when recording this probably took me like 3 hours to do all of the heart piece stuff. Now, most of that was spent on one particular heart piece, and also trying to find the last couple that I was missing. Alright, and that unlocks the red potion, which is required for doing those flower things that I had talked about in the Picori village. Alright. In our Minish form, come over to this small little hole and grab another piece of heart. Found a kinstone. now that we have the flippers at this point, we can travel in these small waters, shallow waters, I suppose, as our Minish form. The reason why I was hesitating there was because I wasn't sure if that was going to be rupees or not, and I didn't want to overkill it. But I don't believe there's any rupee chests in this little cave. And again, that's part of the reason why I was heading that way. I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to go and spend some of our rupees so that we're not overkilling it too much. Oop. Oh, gotta love ice physics. Ah. Come on. There we go. If you fall off during the ice physics sections, you'll reset to whatever you were, wherever you were when you were on solid ground last. Fun. Get close enough. Get close enough to me so I can actually hit you. Unfortunately, there's not an easier way back, so you do have to travel back through the ice. There's one of the downsides of the ocarina. Like, it doesn't send you back to the start of a cave, like in some other games. It's like, I think if you use the warp whistle in the first game, it would send you to the beginning of the dungeon again. Am I remembering that correctly? I can't remember. That will give us access to another heart piece. Jeff is a machine, just powering through all that sand. Or dirt, whatever it is. Yeah, this is another kind of cheaply placed enemy right there. I hate it when they put them in, like, big orders like this. Alright. We are back on the playground. Ignore everyone. It's one of the few ones that you can't get until the very end of the game, because you need to have the Force Sword in order to actually open it. All the others you can more or less get before this point. Nice, nice. Bunch of kinstones that I don't really need. Alright, we are back in Picori Village. Now, I don't think you have to actually, like, claim or visit any of these rewards to get the Tingle treasure. It's just, you do them, you might as well, reap the rewards. Alright, we're back in that house again. You can actually fuse with this guy 3 times. I don't think you necessarily have to, like, do anything in between. But this is the final one with him. and definitely the most important one. Unfortunately, you can't use the ocarina while you're at the Picori size. I would say probably the easiest is to just use the rock cape. You can use a couple different items to get through here, but I just find the rock cape to be the easiest. Yes, thank you, thank you. Yep. Really appreciate it, game. Alright, and this brings us up to this little Minish up here. And he gives us a full heart container. Actually, kind of a rare thing in Zelda games. To get, like, a full heart container outside of a dungeon is pretty rare. I think, obviously, Zelda 1 and 2 do that, but they don't have pieces of heart. And I think really the only other game that I'm aware of that does that is Tears of the Kingdom. There's a side quest that you can do that will give you a full heart piece. Now that game obviously doesn't have regular heart pieces, or pieces of heart. So, but still. Alright, this is in the, that was in the Fortress of the Winds, or whatever it's called, the third dungeon that we were in, that we couldn't find the element in. Yeah. Unfortunately, we did miss one in one of the temples, or one of the dungeons, so... But I believe that was the only one that we had missed. Head. Line on up. Won't take all of them because that would just be overkilling it, and there's no real point. Alright, so we are in the western side. We're fusing with Percy here so that we can actually get access to his house. From there, you get hit by every single little thing as we're going. Ooh, he looks scared. Why are you scared, Percy? What's wrong? Alright, that looks to be there. Oh dear, Jeff. I'm sorry if I speed through this text a little more. I'm trying to get through the game, but there's not really much I can do at this point, since, you know, post commentary here. A moblin! What are you doing in here, buddy? Oh dear, you found me out. Don't tell anyone. Here. I do accept bribery, although I am currently full on my money. Hey, nice. Kingstone. Yeah, like, where does the money go if Link doesn't have enough, or doesn't have enough pocket space for it? Wallet space, I suppose. come up here, grab your mole mitts. You can dig. We're not going to pick that up because obviously we don't have enough space. And, okay. Here is the full list of 130. Or the first 130 of the figurines, minus 1. We still have one more to get. How many shells would you like to use? I would like to use a full 100. Because I really don't want to get screwed over. I mean, just doing this entire side quest kind of screws you over, but that's beside the point. And syrup. Congratulations. Alright. And if you go out here, talk with this guy. I guess twice. Because the first time he doesn't react in any way. He unlocks this room now. So we get a piece of heart, and get a bunch of rupees that we don't need. And if you interact with that the record player up there, you can actually mess around with the music, the game music. We're not going to do that, but something to keep in mind. So I believe that prompts him to build the house. I think it takes a little bit of time, though, for that to happen. Alright, here was one other one that we kind of forgot about. That I forgot about. I won't blame you guys for my mistakes, although it'd be so easy to. So that was in the well in town that you have to be the Minish size to get. And, alright. So here is the final piece of heart. Well, actually, hold on. We need to show Nehru to her new house. Right over here. Nice. Looks very cozy. Alright, talk with her. And she will give you a homemade charm. You can move these bookshelves over to get to the Minish that was in the little Minish house that was sitting here before, you know, they built the new house. He didn't really have anything new that I was aware of. He didn't have, like, a new Kinstone fusion or anything for me, so I didn't bother showing it. Alright, so here is the final heart piece. Here in, like, 7 minutes will be the final heart piece. Because you have to do so many of these rounds. It's kind of ridiculous. I really wish Anju would just do her own job. Like, what's up with the time limit? Like, what's the point of the time limit? Like, I'm not talking about, like, in the context of this is a video game, they just wanted a time limit to make it harder. But, like, in the context of the game world, what is the point? Like, are all of the Battle Royale callers on the chickens going to go off in that time if you don't get them back into the pen? Like, But what's the point of it? So yeah, needless to say, this took me a little while because some of the time limits get to be pretty stringy. So, all right, there are two different types of chickens. As long as you get the correct number or more of the chickens into the pen, it doesn't really matter which ones you do. Each one has its own benefit and downside. So the white chickens will stay in your hands, but if you throw them, they will go running far faster, or well, faster and for a longer period of time. While the yellow chickens will jump out of your hands after a little bit of time, so you need to throw them in the direction that you want them to go before they jump out of your hands and run away from you in presumably the opposite direction. I mean, you could probably abuse it to, like... Well, I actually don't know, because I didn't really test this out, and do they go towards the direction that you pick them up in? So, like, they try and always get back to wherever they were, where they started? Or around where they started? Or do they just go in whatever the opposite direction you're facing is? I don't know. That's a question for someone who actually wanted to test that out. Because by the end of this, I was done with chicken tossing. I was so tired of this. For a lot of the later ones, what you have to kind of do is you have to throw them and hope that they go towards the pen so that you can focus more on like getting as many of them close to the pen as possible. That way, towards the end, when you come back, you can just grab them and throw them into the pen. That's the most annoying part, is when you try and pick them up, but because you're standing like right on top of them, they won't actually, you won't actually pick them up. Really annoying. And then you have this guy standing here, getting in your way all the time. So, yeah. This is basically what you have to do. Move! Yep, yep. Oh, come on, I threw him that time. Just in the nick of time. Unfortunately, there's not like a counter or anything to kind of keep track of how many you in the pen. Alright, so, as you can probably guess, since there's only 2 chickens, these ones are extremely far away from the pen. I would recommend taking this one, throwing them that way. They'll always go in the opposite direction that you are, like... I'm gonna try and explain this a little better. So, when you throw the chicken horizontally, it will head either above or below the position, depending upon where you're at. Above or below that line. So if you're like... So if you go up, chicken is going to start going down. So you can kind of abuse that to get it to go in the direction that you want. Alright. This is the final one, thankfully. There are 3 of them with 55 seconds, and as you can probably guess, most of them are... 2 of them, at least, are on the other side. And I believe 2 of them are these yellow chickens. You do need the flippers in order to get across here. Otherwise, you're just going to run out of time. So, like, yeah, as you saw there, it went in the opposite direction, and so I wasn't doing it correctly. I should have been going down to try and get it to go the opposite direction. But anyways, it all works out. And yeah, have a couple seconds to just kind of chill. Hey Anju, how's it going? And there we go. That is our final piece of heart. And a bunch of rupees that we can't take. Here's a kinstone. And we got one other thing that I wanted to do in this part, and that's go and talk with Syrup. Go ahead, grab that. Unfortunately, we have to step away from the pot in order to actually use the fairy. Because we can't just replace whatever's in our bottle, we have to actually empty it. So, this gives you a full restore. Pretty expensive, but I mean, we have plenty of rupees at this point. So, alright, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next part for the final dungeon.